All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Leon Ujouwa, and y'all know my saying, first you get the first you get the knowledge, then you get the power. I want to start somebody just I want to start this off with a question. Have you ever driven somewhere without knowing the destination? You wouldn't just start your car, hit the gas, and hope you end up somewhere great, right? But that's exactly what so many people do with their lives. They move every day, working hard, doing something, but without a clear direction of where they're going. That's why setting goals is one of the most powerful things that you can ever do. Because setting goals, you gives your life a direction, a purpose, and a meaning. Goals give you clarity. When you set goals, you define what matters to you. Think about it like this right here. If you don't know what you want, how will you ever know when you found it? Goals act like a GPS for your life. They take big, overwhelming dreams and turn them into something specific, something that you can actually reach. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, a goal says, I want to start my own business by the end of next year. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, a goal says, I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of December. The moment you get specific, your mind starts working differently. You start noticing opportunities that you were blind to before. The old saying goes, clarity is power. Goals give you motivation. Motivation doesn't just come from nowhere. It comes from knowing what you're working toward. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to wake up early and stay up late when you're passionate about something? That's because you have a goal pulling you forward. Without goals, it's easy to drift. Days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and you realize you've been busy but not productive. That's a big issue, being busy but not being productive. We got to make sure that we're being more productive than busy. Just doing anything but not having any specific goal that you're going toward is just like, it's just kind of how you get stuck. A clear goals give you something to chase. It gives you energy. It turns discipline into desire. When you wake up in the morning and you know why you're doing what you're doing, everything changes. Your goal becomes the fuel in your tank. Goals build confidence. Every time you set and achieve a goal, you prove something to yourself that you're capable. It doesn't matter how small the goal is. Maybe it's drinking more water, reading 10 pages a day, or saving an extra $100 a month or an extra $100 a week. Every time you follow through, you strengthen your belief in yourself. That belief compounds. Before you know it, you're setting bigger goals because your mind now says, I can do this. Confidence doesn't just come from wishing or waiting, it comes from consistent wins over time. Goals create those wins. And that's how you transform from who you are into who you're meant to be. Goals help you measure your progress. Imagine trying to get fit, but never stepping on a scale, never taking a photo, never measuring anything. How would you know that you're improving? Goals let you measure your growth. When you track progress, you can celebrate the small victories, make adjustments, and stay accountable. You can look back and see how far you've come, and that's one of the most motivating feelings in the world. Progress equals happiness. When you see growth, you feel alive. You know your efforts matter. All of the hard work that you put in and you see that it pays off, you feel more confident and inspired and motivated to set more goals and achieve more. But you have to be realistic at the same time. But your goals are also going to give you focus. In life, there will always be distractions, social media, other people's opinions, random opportunities that pull you away from your path. But goals help you say no to whatever doesn't serve you for that goal. When you have clear goals, you can filter every decision through a simple question. Does this move me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? That question alone can save you years of wasted time. I'm talking about years of wasted time. You stop chasing every shiny object and you start to double down on what really matters. Goals also create accountability. When you have a goal, especially one that you share with others, you hold yourself accountable. There's something powerful about saying, I'm going to do this. It kind of turns a wish into a promise. And when you write down your goals, when you track them, or when you tell someone, you're no longer just hoping, you're committing. Oh man, and we're gonna get into commitment and consistency on a whole entire different video. But that commitment builds discipline. Even on the days when you don't feel like showing up, your goal reminds you of why you started. Because goals aren't achieved by emotions, they're achieved by consistency. And that's why I said I'm gonna do the video on consistency, because a person that's consistent is always going to accomplish more than a person who works hard but doesn't set a goal and stay consistent. All right, and goals turn your dreams into reality. A dream without a plan is just a wish, and y'all know that saying already. You can dream about being wealthy, healthy, or successful all you want, but without a goal, nothing changes. Goals are dreams with deadlines. They turn vague desires into structured steps, a step by step plan, a ABC. For example, if your dream is to write a book, your goal might be to write one chapter a week for the next 12 weeks. Suddenly, that huge dream becomes tangible, trackable, and possible. Every major achievement in history started with a goal. Airplanes, smartphones, electric cars, all of them began as someone's goal, and they refused to give up on it. Let's take this to the beach. All right. Goals build character. Here's something most people overlook. The value of a goal isn't just like achieving it, it's in who you become along the way. Think about that for a minute. A goal is not just about achieving the goal, it's who you become along the way. When you chase a goal, you're forced to grow. You learn discipline, patience, and resilience. Even if you fall short, the progress changes you. It's not just about the destination, it's about the transformation. As author Jim Rohn said, set a goal big enough, and that goal will force you to grow into the person who can achieve it.